Welcome to Freecad. Freecad is a computer-aided design program for free. It's open source. Find it on your computer, double-click. This is the start page. I'm going to right-click on the icon to keep it on it's called the dock. So right-click and just click Pin to taskbar. It's also called a taskbar. So when you right-click and pin it, it'll always be there. But it's your choice. So first step, we're going to make a brand new empty document. So by clicking on that little icon right there, you can also click New right here under File. So click on New. The start page is here. It kind of went away, but it's still there. You can always get back to it, and you can close it by clicking the X. And now here's your file. It's called Unnamed. The background is kind of like a blue, and it's an empty document. So this is where you do all your drawings and objects are here. The sidebar is where it just shows. It's called the tree, where it shows all of your objects here. And let's change the workbench. This area here is important. When you click on it, you can change the workbench. A workbench is it has a certain set of tools to do a certain thing. Let's select the Sketcher workbench here. You'll notice how there's a bunch of tools up here, but we've changed the workbench, but we didn't make a new Sketcher document. Think of it like a folder that holds all your drawings. To do that, you click this icon here, New Sketch. It's called a sketch. We're working in 3 dimensions, so it has to have like a starting point. So let's do XY plane and OK. Notice how you see a grid now, and it shows the axes, X and the Y, and the grid, which is these boxes. All right, you can make a bunch of shapes and points. Here's the main tools. We're going to cover these right here. So to do so, you click on the point. You can make a point and just kind of click away. These are points. You can select the line tool, and how you do that is just click once and then click again to make a line. You can go any direction you want. So click once, click twice. Next is the arc tool, and there's 2 of them. If you click this little black arrow, there's 2 options. I most of the time use just this one, the center with endpoint. You click once, then you can move your mouse. You click and let go, and you can move your mouse to change the diameter. Click it again to solidify the diameter. Then you can move the arc to where you want it, right like that. And click again a 3rd time to finish the arc. And there it is. There's a conic, which it's an ellipse. There's different types. I just do the first one. When you click once, it kind of starts the ellipse to make the diameter. Click it again. Then you move your mouse to make it like circular, or just which direction you want it, like thin or that way. Then when you click it again, that solidifies the shape. So that's the ellipse or conic. Polyline, click that, and you just click, and it makes a shape using straight lines. To complete the shape, you move your mouse towards the first point you started with, and until it turns yellow, and click, and that will finish the shape. And you could also do this. You could just click, 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 and leave it open. When you're done with that last point, right click, and that will finish the shape. You can connect these 2 in a different kind of way. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So once again, if you make a shape and it's a little tough to connect this sometimes. It looks like it's connected, but it's not, and your mouse moves. It's a little tricky. So you just click your last point, and then when you want to deselect that tool, you just right click it. That's the polyline. There's the rectangle. Click, click, so 2 clicks. There is the poly shape tool. So if you click the little arrow, there's triangles click, click. There's squares, so it's not a rectangle. It's always going to be a perfect square. So click and click. There's pentagons, hexagons, heptagons, and octagons. There's a slot tool, so it's like a circle but has straight lines. Click and then click again. That's a slot. So there you have it. These are the main shape tools. There's more, but let's just focus on these for now. Now to whatever tool you have selected, you can deselect it again by clicking the right mouse button, and now you're back to select mode. You'll know that because your cursor looks like an arrow. And now you can move these things around. You can click and drag the points around. You can click, notice how when you move your cursor over the line of a shape, you can drag it around by just clicking and dragging. You can click and drag the corner of something. Again, when you hover over it, it turns yellow. Drag that. Polyline. And we'll talk about how it behaves and what these things are. These little lines that show up. These are called constraints, but we'll talk about that later. So things move based on, yeah, well, that's how you do it. You just click and drag on points or lines. Now with the conic or the ellipse shape, when you click and drag the edge, you can move the whole object, but these lines will also move the object. The center point move the object, but these lines here can reshape live. So you can just, those little points there and there, you can readjust the shape, as well as these points here. And with like triangles and things like that, so here's the triangle. There's a circle that kind of goes around it. When you click and drag that, that'll change the diameter of the scale of the shape. When you click and drag the edge, it'll move the shape. And that's how you go into selection mode and drag components around. So when you're done with your sketch, you click close. And now your sketch is here. And you can rename it by right click, rename, call shapes. And you can't really move things around. So this is just kind of like view mode. But if you want to edit your sketch, you double click it, and now we're back into edit mode. We can drag things around. Over here, there's all these different, all your different constraints. We'll talk about that, and your elements. So as you hover over these, you can, select them like that by clicking on them, or you can right-click delete or press the delete key. You can also click on anything and press the delete key. It'll go away. That's how you delete elements. So you have to click and then delete. And when you're done with edit mode, just go back to close, and now you're in view mode to view your sketch. You can make more than one sketch simply by clicking this button again, and it'll show up. It'll ask for the plane again, press OK. And now you're in a totally different, it'll show your previous sketch, but you're actually doing think of like a new piece of paper. So rectangle. And again, close, we'll close it. So now you have two. Oops. So click, right click, rename. Let's call it a rectangle. So type it out, press enter. You can press the space bar to hide your sketches. So this one, if you want to hide that one, space bar again to view it again. And yeah, so this is your document. You can rename that, but let's just keep it unnamed for now. But that's how you deal with the Sketcher. How to draw shapes, how to create Sketcher new sketches, how to make more than one sketch, how to hide and show sketches, and how to go to edit mode and then view mode. Let's save the file. File, save. Let's go to documents. I made a new folder by clicking new folder. I called it Freecad. Double click to go inside the folder. Let's call it shapes. It's going to save it as a Freecad document and then save. All right, it's saved. So you have to actually, do file save to save the file. It doesn't save automatically. To close it, you click on the X here. So it says, it says shapes. Click the X. It closes it. To open it, you can either click this button here or File, Open. Find Documents, Freecad. Double click the file or click and select Open. And there it is. To close Freecad, you click on the X to close.